God has a wonderful plan for your life, heaven on earth. The devil has a terrible plan for your life, hell on earth. Now, what is the difference? And that's what we want to talk about today. I'm suggesting the difference is called selfishness. And every one of us struggles with selfishness. Let's use an example. How many of you ever bought a car?
Yeah.
How many of you, when you went to the car dealership, you expected they were going to give you the very best deal possible? Or were you going there to just bless the dealership? I mean, you didn't want to, they gave you a amount for the car, and you wanted to give them $10,000 more. You didn't want that? Because that's a problem that we have, called selfishness, and it gets into the family, because what happens when people get married, and the main reason they're getting married is what? To meet their own needs. And so if you're getting married to meet your own needs, what's going to happen? We call it marriage deadlock. Because you will be trying to get the other person to meet your needs, and they're going to try to get you to meet needs, and we get all sorts of problems, don't we? Let's look at the selfishness thing for a second. Here's the situation. You have a car you're going to sell me, and you owe $10,000 on the car. It's only worth $5,000. How much are you going to ask me for the car? 10, 12. You mean you would rip me off? But that's a problem. See, when we were dealing with this thing called selfishness, is that we will be tempted to treat the other person to get our needs, because what are we looking at? It's self-focus. And see, self-focus is actually the basis of all sin. When I was dating back many, many years ago, a lot of girls had this one poster on their wall. It said, "I love you for what I am when I'm with you." Now, what did that just say? What I get out of it. And what's going to happen if you're not getting out of it the things that you want to get out of it? So what do we need? We need to figure out some way to give unconditional love, not conditional love, to our mates. But there's a problem. You can't make yourself unselfish. Now, if you can, I remember when we were back dating again, I gave an unconditional love commitment to my wife, and we were mailing back and forth. By the way, there's no email in those days, and there was no text messages in those days, so we had to do it by snail mail. And one day I didn't get a letter. So what do you think I said to myself? Next day I didn't get a letter. What am I thinking? Next day I didn't get a letter. And God sort of tapped me on the shoulder and said, what kind of a commitment did you make to her? Was that unconditional? It didn't say if she sends me letters. Next day I got 4 letters in the mail. And I want to tell you how wonderful it is to have a wife that is unconditionally committed. Really helps a lot. It's going to help you a lot if you can really get a hold of this.
Amen.
So how do we get out of being selfish? Let's go back to my story again. Same thing. You have the car. You owe $10,000 on it. It's worth $5,000. But yesterday you won the lottery. You have $5.6 billion in the bank. How much are you going to give me your car for? Or sell me your car for? Yeah, some of you would be nice. So what made you so nice and so wonderful? Before you were going to rip me off. What's the difference? If your needs are all met, then what? Then I can love you. I don't have to look out for myself. I don't have to get into what we call marriage deadlock. That's what God wants from all of us.